Now on the CTV News at 5, cautious optimism over Canada's canola trade deal with China. Plus a major court ruling against Justin Trudeau's former government. And WestJet is rolling back its plan to reconfigure seating on planes.
Telling your stories. CTV News Lethbridge with Jackie Scantlebury.
Hello, and thank you for being with us. Trade tensions are de-escalating between Canada and China. The Chinese have scaled back their tariff on Canadian canola. It's a relief southern Alberta producers have been long waiting for. Quinn Keenan has the details.
Prime Minister Carney will be leaving China with a new market for Canadian canola. Duties on Canadian canola are set to drop from 84% to 15% by March. Carney sees the deal as making enormous progress.
China is a 4 billion canola seed market for Canadian producers, and this change represents a significant drop from the current combined tariff levels of 84%.
In exchange, Canada will allow 49,000 Chinese EVs into Canada annually. The tariff on those cars also drops from 100% to just 6.1%. It's a big win for producers who count on the Chinese export market.
Well, this is something we've been looking forward, and this is probably why I had pretty much a sleepless night, because this has been on my mind and on a lot of minds for farmers for the past little while. We needed this very, very badly.
A 15% tariff, however, doesn't guarantee Canadian canola will be bought in China. It would likely still be slightly more expensive than Australian canola, but the news still has producers cautiously optimistic.
We don't know if 15% is still going to be too big of a hurdle. It's at least it doesn't mean it's zero chance, but we don't know if it's going to fix the export problem we have.
The deal has brought some uncertainty. There are concerns over what this deal with China means for future dealings with the United States.
Short term, it's good news for our producers. It will help them make more money in the short term. It'll help increase, our trade options and provide some more certainty back. But hanging over it all is that discussion with the United States that's coming due in the spring.
Canadian canola meal, lobsters, crabs, and peas are also no longer subject to a 100% anti-discrimination tariff. Canola oil still appears to be facing a 100% tariff. Quinn Keenan, CTV News, Lethbridge.
A southern Alberta family is putting out an urgent plea for help after fire tore through their barn last Saturday. The small hobby farm in Vulcan County helps children with special needs and those dealing with trauma. But a fire damaged the barn and caused serious injuries to a number of the animals. Now the family is desperately looking for a new home. Carson Marsouk reports.
They were shoved into this kind of alleyway.
It's a night Haley Williamson will never forget.
He said no fire, and then he ran past me. And I turned around and saw that the barn here behind me was on fire, and I just started running.
Her hobby farm, Tip and Tumble, was destroyed by a fire Saturday night. The farm is home to about 50 animals, including piglets and goats, 8 of which were inside the barn and suffered injuries.
Thankfully, we haven't lost any animals, but it has been touch and go. We do have a goat with 2nd to 3rd degree burns on her underside, and her skin is sloughing off. The piglets have burns all around their bodies, their eyes, their nose.
The farm is a sensory-friendly space for families with special needs children and uses rescue animals. For Williamson, the farm was inspired by her 4-year-old who is neurodivergent.
These are 2 of my goats. The white one here's name is Bella.
While the investigation is still underway, the family is in urgent need of a new home for the animals. A Give Send Go has been set up to help the family with vet bills and finding shelter for the animals. Williamson says they have 15 days to vacate the property.
We do need to relocate all of our animals now. They don't have access to unthawed water or heat. And as you can see, the temperatures dropped significantly in the last 24 hours. So that's a huge concern for us.
So far, about $1,400 has been raised. Carson Marsouk, CTV News, Lethbridge.
Now, the family says the RCMP is investigating the blaze. There is still no word yet on the cause. Danielle Savoni joins us for our first look at the forecast. And Danielle, not nearly as windy out there today.
Yeah, you're right. So yesterday, especially for areas closer to the Saskatchewan border, we had gusts over 90 kilometers per hour. Medicine Hat included in that. It got to 93. Today it's more reasonable, just more on the breezy side. 46 kilometer per hour gusts in Medicine Hat and 43 for Brooks. Everywhere else, really other than Calgary, there's no gusts even registering today. It will pick up again tomorrow, and we'll talk more about that a little later in the show. But for now, just a quick look at temperatures. Because we don't have those Chinook winds, temperatures again today are not quite as warm. So 2 degrees in Lethbridge right now. 0 in Brooks and 0 in Medicine Hat as well. It will warm up tomorrow into the double digits for many communities. I'll show you that coming up.
All right. Thanks, Danielle. A major court ruling today against Justin Trudeau's former government. The Federal Court of Appeal has found it was unreasonable for the Liberals to use the Emergencies Act to end protests 4 years ago. The act was imposed in February of 2022 to end the truckers' convoy that tied up downtown Ottawa for 3 weeks. It also helped to end the protest at the Coots border crossing in Alberta and in Windsor, Ontario. Protesters had gathered to demonstrate against Ottawa's COVID-19 vaccine mandate. The appeals court is upholding a decision by a federal court judge in 2024 who said there was no national emergency that would require the act and constitutional rights were infringed. An update from Lethbridge Police. 36-year-old Joshua Myers, who was previously wanted on outstanding arrest warrants, has been found and arrested. Police are thanking the public for their help. And for the first time, the RCMP says it's making a database of child sex offenders available to the public. The RCMP says only the offenders deemed as high risk are included in the database, which it says is meant to help the public get informed and make decisions when it comes to protecting children. Many Canadians feel there needs to be a tougher approach to crime and disorder. That's according to a new survey from Angus Reid. It found about 59% of Canadians want a stricter approach to crime rather than a greater emphasis on social support. When asked about the biggest drivers of crime, Canadians point to addiction, poverty, and mental illness. New drone technology could change how search and rescue teams locate missing people. Faster and more accurate. As a Saskatoon company is at the forefront of it all, as Carla Shinarek tells us, Dragonfly is now partnering with an international rescue organization showcasing how unmanned aircraft are becoming essential tools for public safety worldwide.
We have people from all over the world contacting us and approaching us.
And what makes this Saskatoon company that popular is this drone. And it's not just any drone because it's helping save lives.
It really helps save a lot of time and effort from people on the ground.
It can pinpoint a missing person who might be in a remote area with this unique silver portion. It locates someone with a cell phone as far as 35 kilometers away.
That acts as a mobile cell tower to connect to and identify cell phones for missing persons.
And one of Europe's leading search and rescue organizations from Sweden is now signed on to purchase 2 of these Saskatoon drones, which can operate in harsh weather, adding to the reasons our province just makes sense to design, develop, and manufacture it all right here.
Operating in Saskatoon and Saskatchewan does give us a very good benefit of having a lot of wide open space to go do flight testing and development.
There are about 15 staff here doing most of the work, with a BC location added. In total, the company has about 50 staff.
Questions or curiosities around why Saskatoon, and our answer was always, well, that's where we live. So we're building the company and the technology where we live.
Dragonfly actually started as a model plane business in 1998 and developed with increased drone technology, proving its effectiveness. The Saskatoon Police Service has been using drones for years. They tell us that they're primarily used in searches for missing persons, to document and investigate collision scenes, to assist the fire department with aerial views of fire scenes, and they're used by special teams to assist in locating suspects.
Drone industry is always evolving, always developing.
For this company, the sky's the limit, with plans for more advancement in drone technology. Carla Shinkarek, CTV News, Saskatoon.
WestJet is retracting its plan to densify seating on some of its aircraft after a negative reception by passengers. The video went viral last week showing an Alberta couple jammed into their seats with minimal legroom. WestJet says the plan was to fit more people onto planes, which would allow the airline to keep fares lower. The airline had already changed the seating on a number of planes, but now says it will return to the prior seat pitch in the economy section. A full row of 6 seats will be taken out.
Given the amount of feedback that they've received, I'm not surprised that they're making a change. But it at the same time is a little bit surreal that one little video had such an impact.
WestJet says it is still evaluating other aspects of the new layout. Lethbridge City Council is asking residents for feedback to make assessment and taxation notices more transparent. The city has launched an online survey to gather feedback on how well the current notices explain assessments and taxes and what could change in order to make them easier to understand. Through the survey, the city hopes to identify which areas need more explanation, look at ways to improve communication, and gather ideas directly from taxpayers. The survey is open until February the 6th. And the City of Lethbridge says this year's holiday bus was a success. During the holidays, the bus collected more than 1,500 pounds of food. That is 5 times more than the previous year. Nearly 70 new toys for youth were also collected. The holiday bus is a partnership between the city and the Christmas Hope campaign and makes stops at different community events throughout December to help collect donations for those in need. Danielle is back with your weekend forecast right after this break. Plus, we've got an update on Princess Kate's cancer journey.
All right, here's a Skywatch weather camera. Pretty nice day because we haven't had to deal with the winds. Temperatures have been still above the freezing mark in most communities, so it's a reasonable, nice day for January when you look at it. If you like the warmer temperatures, that's to come. Not sure if you already feel it, if you get the headaches, but the winds are they're already starting to shift and they're already starting to pick up a little bit. All signs of warmer things to come for tomorrow. 1 degree is the temperature in Pincher Creek, -1 in Brooks, at the freezing mark, Milk River, Medicine Hat, and 2 in Lethbridge. Here's a look at the wind gusts so far. And since we last talked, we've just got a gust around 33 kilometers per hour in the Lethbridge area. So the winds are starting to pick up. It's a very gusty day tomorrow, and that comes with warmer temperatures. Right now in Lethbridge, that gust is out of the north, but it is going to start to switch. The winds will be a little all over the place direction-wise. So this isn't a big, longer-term Chinook setup that we're going to be getting into. Today, out of the northwest in the 40s, Brooks, Medicine Hat, huge improvement from the 80s and 90s we had yesterday. Let's talk tomorrow. Tomorrow, we will have gusts out of different directions, but we are looking at mainly out of the west for Pincher Creek, up to 80 kilometers per hour. Lethbridge, mainly out of the west, but it will be out of the southwest sometimes, and even out of the north at times tomorrow. So this isn't a full-out Chinook, but it should be enough to get us into the double digits for Lethbridge for tomorrow. Northwest, 50 kilometer per hour gust for Brooks and 60 for Medicine Hat. The key thing, though, about Medicine Hat, we're looking at 60 kilometer per hour gusts possible tomorrow during the day. Tomorrow evening, up to 90 kilometer per hour gusts. So yes, the winds, they're on the way. No real moisture in the forecast, just Sunday, overnight Saturday and through Sunday morning. We could pick up a little bit in some communities. I'll fast forward it so you can see. Lethbridge, even up until about 8:30 in the morning, you could see a couple snowflakes. Even the Medicine Hat area could see a little bit as well. Again, though, this is pretty brief, very isolated, on and off, and nothing significant. We do need the moisture, not in the forecast for this longer term forecast. And Sunday evening, we could see some. So yes, you may see a couple snowflakes out there for the weekend, and certainly more cloud cover in the Lethbridge area on Sunday and in many communities on Sunday. East Kootenay fog patches tonight through much of tomorrow, -1 as our high for tomorrow. Christmas Pass -7 tonight, gusts 50 kilometers per hour. Tomorrow picking up to 80, all predominantly out of the west, which is why we'll get up to about 8 degrees in Crowsnest Pass area and mainly sunny skies. Medicine Hat fog patches up until about 8 or 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. The gusts will be around 60 kilometers per hour, so 40 in the morning. That will be out of the southwest, then the northwest up to 60. And then tomorrow evening, gusting up to 90 kilometers per hour to the northwest. So very windy, closer to the Medicine Hat area. For Lethbridge, 60 kilometer per hour gusts tomorrow. That should get us up to 10 because it will predominantly be out of the west and southwest for tomorrow. Then we lose that flow. -1 will be our high on Sunday. We even have the chance of a few flurries with some cloud cover.
And now marking 1 year since Princess Kate announced she was in remission. How she has shared her journey to recovery from cancer and her mission now. ABC's Maggie Bruley has more.
I find myself reflecting on how deeply grateful I am.
Princess Kate starting 2026 with gratitude. A year ago today, she announced she was officially in remission from cancer.
Stay strong, okay?
Visiting the hospital where she received her treatment and writing about her experience. As anyone who has experienced a cancer diagnosis will know, it takes time to adjust to a new normal, the princess wrote.
The surgery was successful.
She shocked the world when she first announced her diagnosis back in March 2024.
My medical team therefore advised that I should undergo a course of preventative chemotherapy, and I'm now in the early stages of that treatment.
Retreating from public life around the same time King Charles announced his diagnosis.
This year feels very different to last year. Last year was a very gradual return to work, and she emphasised that it can be really difficult to get back to normal. But this year I feel like she's really kind of set the tone for being ready to be more visible.
Kate mapping her recovery with seasonal installments, releasing the final one, Winter, on her 44th birthday last week.
Come to peace with our tears and discover what it means to be alive.
She knows that she has her biggest role ahead of her as queen, but that weight is not yet on her shoulders. This really is still a time when she can balance her public duties with continuing to focus on her family, which is something that is very important to her, particularly while her children are young.
Maggie Ruley, ABC News.
Still ahead on the CTV News at 5. Bo Bichette is no longer a Toronto Blue Jay. We'll tell you where he's going next. The Lethbridge Hurricanes will look to snap a 5-game losing skid this weekend. Medicine Hat Tigers, meanwhile, will look to extend their franchise record 18-game winning streak. Tonight, the Canes start the weekend at home against a very good Prince Albert Raiders team. PA has won both meetings between the clubs this season. Puck drop is at 7. Tomorrow, the Canes hit the road to battle the Red Deer Rebels. Lethbridge will look to avenge a 4-3 loss to Red Deer on Wednesday. That game starts at 6. Tigers are at home all weekend, starting with a game tonight against the Edmonton Oil Kings. The two met on Wednesday with the Tigers winning 3-2 in a shootout. That game gets underway at 7. Tomorrow will be a heavyweight tilt with the Raiders coming to town. Medicine Hat and Prince Albert are first and second in the Eastern Conference, respectively. That game also starts at 7. Now, the U of L Pronghorns and Lethbridge Polytechnic Kodiaks hit the courts this weekend. Here's a look at what's coming up there. The Pronghorns are back at home hosting the Saskatchewan Huskies. The women play tonight at 6, followed by the men at 8. Tomorrow features the same matchups at an earlier time. The women play at 5. The men wrap up the weekend at 7. Kodiak's basketball team start their weekend on the road. They're in Calgary playing the Ambrose University Lions. The women tip off at 6, the men at 8. And tomorrow the basketball teams are back in Lethbridge playing the Lions. The games will be again at 6 and 8. The volleyball teams have also a home-and-home series with Ambrose University on tap. They start out at home tonight with first serve for women at 6 and the men at 8. Tomorrow volleyball heads to Calgary for their games also at 6 and 8. And finally, futsal kicks off their season this weekend. They'll play at home against the Medicine Hat College Rattlers. The women's game kicks off at noon with the men after 1:30. The Toronto Blue Jays appear to have struck out in their effort to keep an all-star. Reports from Baseball Insider say Bo Bichette has signed with the New York Mets.
Who hits it high in the air to deep center. It is gone!
That massive home run came in the heartbreaking Game 7 World Series final with the LA Dodgers. The reported deal with the Mets is worth $126 million US over 3 years. Bichette is usually a shortstop, but is expected to play third base for the Mets. The two-time All-Star debuted with the Jets in 2019 and has led the American League in hits twice. An outdoor long track speed skating event is taking place in Red Deer this weekend, and organizers will be keeping a close eye on the weather More than 100 skaters from Western Canadian clubs will be competing. It's also a qualifier for Team Alberta heading into the Canadian Youth Championships. Officials say athletes will be contacted directly if the ice is not safe for skating. Races are scheduled to start tonight. The Lethbridge Hurricanes do a teddy bear toss every year, but here's a new spin on that idea. Ontario's Grand River Collegiate Institute's hockey team organized a sock toss, just like a teddy bear toss, except with socks. In all, the team collected about 1,200 pairs of socks. They were donated to Ray of Hope. It's a group helping with the housing crisis in Ontario. Still ahead on the CTV News at 5, the story of a transatlantic love story that caught the attention of the world. It started out as a little crush, but turned into a full-blown transatlantic romance. He's a musician, she's an actress, and now the whole world is rooting for them. Here's ABC's Danny New.
Am I now about to fly across the world to meet him for the first time? Yep. Yeah, I am.
A relationship that started with an Instagram message from across the world has now turned into an internet obsession.
The comments are crazy sometimes. Yeah. I mean, people are just like, have you moved to Ireland yet?
Irish man DMs me, I respond. I go to Ireland, I fall in love with them, because what else am I supposed to do?
Actress and comedian Teresa Rowley of Texas received a message from musician Sean Rooney of Ireland around spring of last year.
He said something that was very Irish, and so I checked his account and I thought, oh, he's pretty cute and he's Irish.
She says it was a slow burn at first, but soon they were talking for hours every day. And Teresa was ready to take a leap of faith across the Atlantic. That is, however, once he FaceTimed with her mother and she got a friend to come with her.
It helps. It helps. It's not foolproof, but, you know, maybe I'm a fool.
Fool in love.
Hey!
Clearly, the first meeting went well. And since then, her video about that inaugural trip has picked up millions of views on social media. One commenter writing, "You realize by posting this, you've invited all of us to the wedding, right?" Sean has also now visited Texas, making stops at Buc-ee's and a cowboy hat fitting. Although...
He says, what's queso?
His lack of knowledge about Tex-Mex did shock Teresa.
We've talked to WFAA, and now we're in the Washington Post.
And while they say yes, all of this attention has led to questions about whether one of them will move across the world for the other, they say that discussion has commenced.
Do we have the answers to it? No, not yet, you know, but I think that's okay.
For the record, Sean and Teresa said that they are always asked what was that first message he sent her, but they feel at least that part of their relationship should have the right to remain private. In New York, for ABC News, I'm Danny New.
Thank you for sharing this time with us. Now here's the early edition of the CTV National News.